Who is y'all to tell me what he diagnosed with and what he look like, what he sound like? Y'all don't know nothing about God, and y'all don't know nothing about nothing. You talking to me like that? So I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child.
It's time to just say what it is so that you can stop being embarrassed and harboring that guilt. I literally spoke what I saw because I was in
So
shock.
Crone just showed up at a church event with her almost 2-year-old son in her arms. And people couldn't help but notice that Chrisean Jr. hasn't made much progress since she decided to keep him off social media. A lot of people have been concerned about his health. But Chrisean has been in denial about his needs and was confident that his problems would just fade away as time went on. She could not have been more wrong, y'all. A doctor who saw his video going live on X just confirmed what most people have been speculating all along, that Jr. may never be able to speak unless they seek serious help to address his developmental delays. And if that wasn't enough, Blueface's mom also added insult to injury by saying that Crone is to blame for her son being this way. People have been side-eyeing the situation ever since Crone officially introduced him to the world, when she streamed her birth live on IG. After months of being away, she came back gushing about how perfect he was in every way, but people weren't really seeing any of that. The baby had no head movement, no hand or eye coordination, but what really set people off was when they heard him cry. He was screeching like a cat, and Crone was trying so hard to make it seem as though everything was fine. When Crone showed up on a live stream to defend getting a tattoo of Blueface on her face, her son immediately started crying in the background, and people couldn't help but notice that something just sounded and felt off. When she posted another video feeding him, fans also pointed out that he didn't really react to the food or the spoon until it was close enough to him. And he was already, at that point, 8 months old. What 8-month-old sees food and doesn't want to grab it? Why didn't he have the typical reaction that most babies have when food is in their vicinity? People were all up in her comments, saying how her drinking and smoking while she was carrying him led to his condition. One person even wrote, "Crone Rock is in denial when it comes to Junior. He isn't reaching milestones. He should have enough strength to support his head and chest while lying on his tummy. He also doesn't coo or smile." When Crone saw the comment, she wasn't having any of it. She snapped at people and claimed that it was just haters trying to make something out of nothing. Now, people were out here claiming that what Chrisean Jr. was dealing with was CRIES, which is a genetic defect and has nothing to do with the smoking or drinking Crone was doing. There was another person who commented, saying that those milestones people are referring to were just made up to suit a parent's ego, rather than actually celebrating the growth of a child. But how does that make any sense? Yes, seeing your child achieve certain milestones makes you happy, but y'all do know how much effort it takes to bring a child into the world and then raise them, right? These benchmarks give everyone a sense of where their kids are. If your child isn't achieving certain things around the age they are expected to, then parents can easily identify developmental delays and address them. According to doctors who chimed in online, Crone's son had all the physical characteristics of fetal alcohol syndrome, small eyes with folds in the corners, extra large low-set ears, a flat midface, and a small head. The high-pitched crying could be caused by CRIES, but it could also happen because of alcohol withdrawals in infants. People have also noticed that when photos are taken of him, his pupils reflect back as white instead of red, which could potentially mean there's something wrong with his sight. But Crone really didn't care, and she's asked people to stop trying to diagnose her child. She claimed that she took him to the doctor and nothing is wrong with him.
My baby is healthy. They would have told me he had syndrome. He's healthy, bro. Just because that picture wasn't that cute doesn't mean I could diagnose my baby on the internet. This is wild.
She was literally documenting every minute of her child's life. And if there was a time she took him to a doctor's office and nothing was wrong, she would have definitely posted it to prove her haters wrong. But Blueface, who, might I add, is just as much of a lazy parent as Crosh criticized her for pushing back their son's hernia surgery because she claimed she had other things to do until it got worse. It was only after Blueface's rant that she took Junior to get the surgery done and immediately made a post talking about how fast he was recovering. When he was almost a year old, Chrisean posted a video of her son trying to walk as a way to beat the allegations that he wasn't making any progress. child, but all that did was prove the point that everyone's been trying to make. We had never seen him walk, talk, hold a spoon, laugh, or do anything that a typical 1-year-old child is supposed to be doing at this point. People started bashing her for only wanting a child so that she could remain attached to Blueface. Her ex-best friend Janet also stoked the fires and hinted that Crow is in serious denial about Junior needing help.
When people are in denial of stuff, it's like you can't help people when they're in denial of what's actually going on in reality.
And with all of the backlash, Crone finally decided to stop posting him as much on social media and raise him out of the public eye. I think we all can agree that that was the single smartest decision she's made in a long time. But when she brought her son to church to debut her new song Yahweh, people were shocked to see that nothing much had changed with him. He's at an age where kids are so curious about their environment, and he was there doing nothing. Keep in mind, he's almost 2 years old now. People are not upset because of his disability. What makes people so infuriated is the fact that he is a victim of his environment. Unfortunately, he was born into a situation where all we saw his parents do were a lot of toxic, unconventional, immature things that led to an unplanned pregnancy for 2 people who initially didn't even want the baby. How many times did we see Cash online threatening to get an abortion and not properly taking care of herself while she was pregnant? The fact that she's still in denial and won't do more to help her son really speaks to the immaturity and unfortunate circumstances that their son was born into. And it doesn't help that Blue's mother, Clarissa, has said clear as day on several occasions that that child indeed has a problem. Now, Clarissa has never liked Crone, and she may have transferred some of that energy and aggression over to Junior. But even with that said, she explained that it's still heartbreaking to see him this way when things could have been so different.
It crushed my heart to look at my grandbaby and see that, and that was my first time seeing it.
Oh, God.
And it did. It crushed my heart a little bit. It did. But I love all my kids no matter what I told you, whether they slow, need a helmet, whether they got nappy hair, whether they short, funny looking. I love all my grandkids, but I ain't gonna lie. My first initial thought when I saw him in that restaurant, it crushed me. And for her to say she wanted to stomp me out, girl, I can't even tell you what my mind wanted to do to you once I looked in his face and I didn't know if he was looking at me, you, or the air. I was hurt genuinely.
We all saw her drinking and smoking like she had no care in the world, and now all of that has come to this. She doesn't want the public scrutiny that would come if she admitted what everyone has been saying is true, because that would also mean she would have to take accountability for her actions.
And because I hear the cry and I see what y'all see, I do feel like there could be some type of neurological problem. I do see that. I'm not blind and I'm not dumb. I'm not fixing to play blind or dumb.
And after seeing
Crone Jr. like this, people sure don't have a lot of nice things to say about Crone Sr. It's high time that she gave up that victim card, because she messed up big time with this one. Cash's poor decision messed up her baby. He didn't ask to be born into this effed up situation. It's sad a baby even got involved in this mess. I hate this for him. Why are people shocked that Crone's son could possibly have special needs? She was smoking while pregnant, and Zeus even filmed her doing so. She wasn't ready to have a baby. And now, unfortunately, the baby endures the consequences of her negligence. I feel bad only for her son, not for her. I think she knows she's at fault for his shortcomings, and behind closed doors, she's hurting badly. But at the same time, she doesn't want to face reality, because she knows it's her fault he's like this. So she's just going to continue to pray he gets better. If a baby still can't walk, talk, or even babble at 20 months, that is a huge red flag. Cash is really going through a lot right now as a new mother, and maybe there isn't anyone close by to help guide her. But we can only hope that she gets her son checked out and gives him all the opportunities, support, and love he needs to overcome whatever he may be dealing with. Chrisean Rock, known for her fiery personality and dramatic presence on reality TV, is now facing one of the most heartbreaking moments of her life. During what was supposed to be a routine pediatric checkup, the doctor delivered news that shook her world. Her baby boy, JR, might be living with a disability that could affect his development, learning, or movement. Chrisean, who walked into the appointment expecting the usual checkup, was completely blindsided. The moment the doctor gently explained the test results, her face crumbled. Right there in the clinic, she broke down in tears, hugging JR tightly as if holding him would protect him from everything. When Chrisean returned home, it didn't take long before she went live on Instagram to pour her heart out to her fans. On that live stream, she was raw, unfiltered, and deeply vulnerable. Her eyes puffy from crying, her voice shaking, and her heart clearly heavy. She told her fans, "I just want my baby to be okay. I'm doing everything I can. This is so hard for me." The internet responded instantly. Clips of her live stream flooded social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all filled with people, reposting her emotional confessions. Hashtags like #ITROPrayForJR and #Chrisean began trending, and fans from all over the world flooded her comments with love, prayers, and encouragement. Some supporters even started GoFundMe pages to help cover JR's potential medical treatments and therapies. But looming over all of this was the big question. How would Blueface react? Would he stand by Chrisean and their child during this difficult time? As many expected, Blueface posted only a cryptic tweet. "It's a cold world. Stay dangerous." Fans had mixed reactions. Some thought maybe he was hurting privately, while others blasted him for being emotionally distant and selfish. Interestingly, Chrisean didn't focus much on Blueface in her live. She kept her attention on her baby and the responsibilities she now carried as a young mom. Celebrities also jumped in with support. Summer Walker sent heart emojis, and Cardi B reposted one of Chrisean's clips, writing, "Prayers up for this mama, stay strong." It's important to understand the emotional weight Chrisean is carrying. She's a young mother already under massive public scrutiny, facing criticism from media, the public, and even her own personal circle. During her live, she admitted, "Sometimes it feels like I want to give up, but I can't. My baby needs me." Mental health experts say the kind of stress she's experiencing can be crushing for any young mother, especially when it plays out in front of millions. But Chrisean didn't collapse under the weight. She immediately began researching specialists, looking into early intervention programs, and gathering all the information she could. Her close friends stepped up, helping her manage babysitting, doctor appointments, and emotional support. She even cut back on her public appearances and projects to focus entirely on JR's well-being. What's truly inspiring is the way fans rallied around her. Social media, often criticized for being a toxic space, became a place of solidarity. The Chrisean Strong hashtag became a symbol that reminded everyone that celebrities are human too. They bleed, they break, and they need love and support just like anyone else. Today, as Chrisean faces this uncertain chapter of her life, one thing is clear: she is not alone. With her family, her fans, and her own fierce determination, she has become a warrior mom fighting for her child's future. What lies ahead remains unknown, but for now, all of us are rooting for her, hoping that JR gets the care and support he needs. But what do y'all think about this situation? Share your thoughts in the comments and make sure you like and subscribe, because there is more coming down the line. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Y'all, it looks like it's over for our girl Crone because new court documents just revealed the severity of her crimes. And word on the street is she's 100% going to be serving those 8 years, the sentence of jail time she was previously reported to be facing. Prior to this, Crone had several other encounters with the law, and they constantly kept giving that girl a pass. But in typical Crone fashion, she kept crashing out every other day because of Blueface. And now she's going to spend almost the next decade of her life in a nasty jail cell. The worst part about all this is her son, Chrisean Jr., who's now going to grow up without his parents, because both of them decided to act a fool and are going to be serving jail time while he's tossed around and raised by strangers. Okay, but before we get into all these messy details, let me give y'all a little bit of context, because this whole mess dates all the way back to February of 22 when she got arrested in Oklahoma for driving a stolen car and having hard substances in the car with her. She pleaded guilty to 2 charges: possession of a controlled dangerous substance without a tax stamp and possession with the intent to distribute, both of which carried a year prison sentence if convicted. Not only that, but it turns out the stolen car she was driving belonged to Blue, and he had it reported stolen after she broke into his house and stole his G-Wagon. Not only did she steal the car, but she left him a message on his wall saying, "I love Blue," which she had written in her blood. Blue posted this to his IG story and captioned it, "This some fatal attraction type." Blues manager, Whack 100, who we all know hates Crone's guts, posted her mugshot on IG and revealed even more about the arrest. Not only did she steal the G-Wagon, but according to Whack, she also stole thousands of dollars and vandalized the entire house. This bozo deserves all that she has coming to her, Whack wrote. Broke in the house again, stole thousands, and stole the G-Wagon. As we found out, not knowing it was her, 1,100 miles away, got caught. I have no remorse for this bozo. Now I gotta go get the car out the impound and pay another $5,000 for a transport service to bring it back. If it was you, how would you see it? Crowan later released footage of herself in jail, letting people know she was good, and that she's using this time to reflect and heal from everything that's been. Chrisean was later released from jail, but she still appeared in court a year later. Fortunately for her, the judge ruled in her favor. Instead of serving 4 years, she was only given 4 years of probation. Her lawyer, Ken Gallant, argued that jail time would be too harsh since she didn't have any previous criminal record at the time. That was enough to convince the judge to give her probation instead. She was also required to complete 120 days of community service by September of last year. But as y'all can already imagine, Chrisean did not value this at all. She violated the rules of her probation when she failed to complete the mandated 120 days of community service. A warrant was issued for her arrest in February of this year, but before they could even get their hands on her, she ran away to Oklahoma and sped off to California. Mind you, she already had a warrant out for her arrest in California as well. Not only that, but she was supposed to serve 30 days